Welcome to another episode of TGS Quickies, here, the show where we give you quick updates from latest news and from the world of football. And today we have a very interesting episode which will mark the start of a new series of videos from the Goal Story. I know we have been off for a while, but we're back and we're back for good. So today's topic and today's story is highlighting one club from the Indian Super League, the Hyderabad City FC. Known as the badminton capital of the world, Hyderabad is soon to be considered a city that has encapsulated the spirit of football too. And the lockdown, along with the entire pandemic that happened, has definitely helped this purpose because now, as we see, a lot of youth are into football in a much more passionate manner, and Hyderabad is leading the way amongst all the metro cities. So, to talk about more on this topic and this brand new club, Hyderabad City FC, its heritage, the city's heritage, and of course, the prospects and the latest happenings with this club, we're having a fascinating panel with us. We're obviously having Imanshu and Trishita of our Goal Story, and also today we are having Sumodev Sarkar from the Tactics show, who is with us to give his deep insights into this particular topic. So, Hyderabad City FC. Somedev, what can you tell us about the city itself first, and then about the club, its beginnings, and where it is right now?
First of all, thank you from the whole team of Tactics Show for having us here. And Hyderabad, in its own, has a beautiful history with football. Like they were running with in parallel with India's footballing history. Like in the India's golden era of 1950s and 60s, Hyderabad has provided like the most number of Olympians and the Asian Cup participants for the Indian football. So they have a very long history, and now again there is a chance for reigniting that fire within them, because we know that Hyderabad is a very sporting city. Like in every sports you see, they have a representative club or a franchisee in every club. So we are really looking forward to the development through Hyderabad FC.
Yeah.
Okay, and talking about the present structure of the club, its standings, its past records, Somadeva, do you have any insights on how is Hyderabad doing?
Yeah. See, the like they started in 2019. They were really poor. They finished 10th, I guess. So they have changed
Yeah.
the management a lot. Then they have recruited very good players, good Indian players. Because I always focus on the Indian players, because the overseas will help us, but the structure, the base has to be very strong through these Indian players. So they have recruited quite well this year, and that is showing because they are sitting like fourth in the league. I think they will qualify for the playoffs, and they might have a chance to go to the final. So the Manuel Roca, the new coach after Albert Roca left, so it was a good recruitment. And also we would thank the owners who came from I think he was CEO at Kerala.
Kerala Blasters.
Yeah.
Kerala
Yeah.
Blasters.
Yeah, Kerala Blasters.
Then he took
Varun
franchise.
Tripurani. Yeah.
Yeah, Pune was struggling, so they took the franchise rights from Pune. Then they took many good Indian players from Pune as well. So, and I will show you the statistics when we talk about tactics. That the Indian players are really doing well, and they are quite good at that.
Okay.
Okay, so you mentioned a very important point there, and also a very breaking news for the Hyderabad City FC fraternity. It's about the recent change in the managerial positions. So on that, open to the panel, what are your thoughts on this? First, what's the information on that, and next, what's the thought on that?
Coach of the pedigree of Albert Roca is considered very highly. Is esteemed. He's a very esteemed coach. So after confirming his appointment back in January last year, when they decided to part ways with Phil Brown, because Phil Brown was associated with them since the FC Pune days. And I think it was not working. They were lagging behind. So he brought in a new breath of fresh air, gave the youngsters a lot of chance, like Suhail. Then also Adil was also there in that squad. They brought in Shovik in that January transfer window. They required a certain amount of experienced guys, which Albert and director of football, Sujay Sharma, quite ably put together a team. They brought in Halichar Narzari from Kerala Blasters and Subrata Pal from Jamshedpur FC last summer. Subrata has now moved to East Bengal. But the thing was, Albert Roca, like 2 to 3 weeks before the league began, he got an offer from Ronald Koeman's side, team, core team, that they want him back in Barcelona, which is one of the biggest clubs in the world. So how can you say no to such an offer? Maybe his last chance to prove himself in Europe again, and he has been successful in India. So this was a time which was a very difficult period, I think, for the owners. But I think Albert managed to help them, as well as suggest Manuel Roca, who was a very esteemed coach as well in the Segunda and the Segunda B divisions in Spain. So he put together a core of a few experienced Spanish players from Segunda B, and with the Indian core, they managed a certain amount of like they had a certain amount of talent in the squad, but they required players who can provide variety, like Akash Mishra, or you can say Chingal Sena, Ashish Rai and Yasir Rai weren't getting much game time under Phil Brown. Albert Roca encouraged them, and they have grown under the tutelage of Manuel Roca. So I can say Albert's time was a very successful one, but they have overcome that transition right now.
Holichar and Narzari being the homeboy, and also the reason why we picked Hyderabad City FC as our first episode of this Know Your Club series. So regarding another player, Chingal Sena, Himanshu, I know you have some input on that. So what can you tell me about him?
Yeah, before I get into that, I would like to mention the transfer recruitment of Hyderabad FC. When they roped in Albert Roca, the Indian young players that he signed, like obviously Trishita mentioned, they brought in Subrato Paul, they got Halichara Narzari, they brought in Chinglan Sana Singh from FC Goa. Now these players, they have the pedigree. Chinglan Sana Singh, he was a well-established centre back when he played for Delhi Dynamos. He was a very young lad then, but he was getting a lot of first team action. But then when he moved to FC Goa under Sergio Lobera, he did not get much game time because obviously he preferred the foreign centre back pairing of Carlos Peña and Murtada Fall. So those 2 seasons, I think he was, I know he was looking for game time, and this was the perfect move for him to get into a Hyderabad FC team, which likes to play, an attacking brand of football, which has the right composure of experienced and young players. And this season, I think whenever he has been on the field, I think he has played every minute. He has started every game with One India in the centre back partnership. And I think Hyderabad FC, they failed to keep a single clean sheet last season. They finished 10th, bottom of the league. But this season, they have improved like leaps and bounds. They are currently sitting at 4th, looking, competing for the top 4 spot. And I think Chinglan Sana Singh has a big part to play in that. And with the, the brand of football that Manolo Marquez plays, he likes to play out from the back. And Chinglan Sana Singh is one of the best, I think, ball passes in the Indian defense circuit. Like if I have to mention a stat, like in the last 3 seasons, I think he has had a passing accuracy of more than 80% from defense, and I think that is something we notice in European football, not something we get to see in Indian football. Yeah.
It's been a very much of a treat to watch Hyderabad FC play for the neutral fans, especially fans who don't have a club of their own to support. They have been supporting and rooting for Hyderabad this season. So another such player is Liston Colasso, who didn't get any game time in FC Goa. He performed excellent like 2 seasons back, I think, in the Santosh Trophy and caught the eye of the scouts. But same like Chingalsena, he didn't get game time under Sergio Lobera with many options like Jackie Chan, Brendan on the flanks, playing as number 10. So Liston Kolasho, he also like proved himself in Goa Pro League, and the people like the people who were watching him considered him to play in the national team in a couple of years or in 3-4 years time. But when he decided, the tipping point of the iceberg to move from FC Goa was when Lobera totally sidelined him and he was in the reserves for a few match days. He decided maybe it was time. He went on loan to Hyderabad, performed excellently, and then made the permanent switch last summer. And I think the thing that's impressed me about him is like he's looking sharp, fit, agile, and Manuel Roca knows how to use him perfectly. Like he's not playing all the matches, he's not starting all the matches. He's coming on as an impact sub, bringing a lot of variety on the wings, and he's helping out his defenders. So there's something of a different touch about him, which has impressed everyone. And there are calls on social media about asking about him getting a national team call up soon. Hope he lives up to his billing, and it isn't early to like give him a call and regret later.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah,
see what the coach does.
yeah. Excellent insights there. From picking up from there about Manuel Roca, Shomirudha, what can you tell us, or anybody from the panel, what can you tell us about his style of play, his strengths as a coach, his weaknesses as a coach, and what we can expect from a team under him to perform like?
The games that we have seen, the formation that he's taking, it's more of a 4-2-3-1. It's a very basic and good formation in this modern football. And we have seen that they have regularly, with the attacking wing backs, they are pushing up forward quite high. That is also one of their weaknesses, because they are conceding goal on counters. Because if you see the goal difference, there is not much. It is quite. I think the four, it's the goal difference, because they're
True.
they have conceded 10 and scored 10, and at away they have conceded 6 and scored 10. So on the basis of home away, they are quite same, and but they are performing quite well through the wings. Rishit mentioned Colasso. Colasso is playing at the right wing, and then he's shifting inwards to play as a withdrawal striker or as a second striker that is helping the attack. I have to mention that the fullbacks, mostly Ashish Rai and Akash Mishra, they have performed really well. Like they are confirmed starters for them. And Ashish Rai with 2 assists, okay, from the back, that is quite impressive. They have very good crosses. They are good crossers. Then we have Holicharan Narzari, who is coming from left. They have quite a good balance in both Nazari and Ashish, and then Colasso and Akash Mishra.
The thing I have noticed, okay, cool, right? They have struggled against teams who are using 2 center forwards and a playmaker, the number 10 behind, like ATK Mohan Bagan. So when you are isolating their center backs 2v2, they are under pressure because their fullbacks are quite high up and they get caught on those transitions. So that's the way to hit them back.
Yes, that is the way, because since their fullbacks are so high, they leave a huge gap and they are left with only 2 center backs. I know that Chingalsena and both Ona India, both are performing very well, but still under practically 2 versus 2 is quite tough. And they have 2 focal points in Hitesh Sharma and Victor. Both are playing well, but I think if the wingbacks are going so high, the focal players need to drop a little more. So
sure.
Yeah,
they can provide assist to the 2 center backs.
Yeah, got that. Excellent insights once again. There is some other exciting news for the fans of Hyderabad City FC, and it is that recently, as recently as October of 2020, there have been key partnerships established between the Hyderabad City FC and two major clubs from Europe. I'm talking about Borussia Dortmund from the Bundesliga and Marbella FC, who play in the Segunda Division B of the Spanish league.
Yeah.
And I think this, according to me, is going to be a very beneficial and very, I would say practical approach to, improving their infrastructure, improving their training facilities, and the entire knowledge transfer or experience transfer that we are going to see is going to benefit nurturing and budding players in the youth ranks of the team in the upcoming years to come. So, I mean, I'm really, really hopeful and excited with this news, and let's see how the future unfolds. Hyderabad FC's logo is pretty much resembles Borussia Dortmund's logo.
Yes, yes.
I don't know, like, if
The
it's
black and
because
yellow.
of that or
Yeah.
not, but I mean, anything that's
Ma-
yellow usually goes to the final of
Yeah.
Champions League. So,
Maybe they aspire to be Dortmund of India, but I think the most important thing will be the coaches' education they are focusing on, because we have seen the poor refereeing standards. So we can't expect our coaches to be of that level when they are given the opportunity in Indian Super League in a few years' time. So we need them to be of that level, and we need quality instructors who can enable our coaches to reach that level. And for Marbella, I would say it's good for the youngsters who will get training abroad, going to Europe when they're under 15, under 18s, as most of the Spaniards are coming from that level, from that elite level. If you're going there at an early age, you know how to like train yourself and become an athlete, and what to expect of yourself at the professional level, and so they can break into the first team. Like a success of a club is measured by how many graduates break into the first team. So I think the both the partnerships, especially with Marbella, will play a very important role for the young players or young kids of Hyderabad.
okay.
Yeah, and I'd also
And
like to mention,
yeah, sure. Go on.
yeah, along with everything, the infrastructure, the coaching facilities, also Hyderabad FC will have access to Marbella's, global scouting network. So that will also help in, picking up players, young players, who are doing well in and around Europe or the lesser known leagues. So that will, I think, connect Hyderabad FC to that global football market, which will be very, very beneficial for I think, the club as well as the whole Indian football ecosystem.
I think the city will be most beneficial. The city of Hyderabad, like for the grassroots of Hyderabad, it's big news.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, Shumudita, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that the benefit of us in partnership with Spanish teams is like our Indian culture, or we as Indians are quite short in height. So that and the Spanish teams, they are also short in height. So physically, will be very it will be very helpful to develop Spanish tradition of football.
Yep. Height is a very important
Yeah.
factor in football.
I'm not being any racist or all, but it's
No, no,
just
Completely understood.
No,
Completely understood.
cool.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
think with
yeah.
that pretty much sums it up. And I think as I have mentioned previously in our previous episodes, this right now is a very exciting time to be an Indian football fan. And yeah, so this was our first episode of Know Your Club. And with Hyderabad City FC, I think everybody is looking forward to them having a very successful campaign. And with these exciting partnerships and everything, we are expecting a huge, like, holistic development in their infrastructure, at the same time their playing style and playing level. So with that thought, anybody wants to give any like closing thoughts on Hyderabad City FC?
I want to say, I want to see how quickly they develop an academy in the particular city of Hyderabad, so that the kids develop right from an early age. They are given the proper education, the training, and they know the nutrition, the fitness regime. So I think maybe Thangboy Singto, who is the technical director, who is known as the architect of Lajong in the past decade, can play a very big role in this particular regard. And I'm very willing to see if he can
yes, actually.
if he can produce a same output in an ISL club. So maybe after a certain point of time, they don't require a recruitment model if the graduates are making it to the first team on a regular and consistent basis.
And yeah, I think only in the
Go on.
ISL, I think only Hyderabad FC are the team, I think, who don't have to field their entire set of overseas players, because they are almost playing like 7 to 8 Indian players in their first starting
Yeah.
11. I think you don't get to see that in any other club in Indian football. I think that's exciting
That's
news
a-
for Indian. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's another reason people like the club.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's
with that,
that's
I
a
think,
great effort.
With that, I think we have reached the end of today's episode. Once again, a very heartfelt thanks to Shomaditya and the Tactics Show for joining
Thank
us
you.
on this conversation. We love having you here, and check them out. The link to their channel will be in the description. So that's it from our side. Catch us on our next episode. Until then, peace. Bye bye.